Hey guys, what's up? Dustin Menken here with more videos from the Drift Prep vlog series, I guess is what it's turned into. Today, we are gonna do on this video, we are gonna mount some tires to some garbage wheels that we're gonna use for drift spares. If you're gonna do things this way, unless you develop a really soft touch, I would keep it to wheels that maybe you don't necessarily care about the face. I don't know, that's from my experience. I have done one, my first one, so maybe guys that have done this a lot can say, oh, it's no problem, we can do it without scratching the wheels or anything. That was not my experience. I got a little bit of scratches, but like I said, these are garbage wheels that I don't care about, just something to go screech, screech in, and that's all it is. Let's come down here and I'm gonna show you the tires and the wheels real fast. And the tires are Kenda Kaiser KR20s. It's a pretty well-respected tire within the drift community. Of course, everybody has different opinions, but this is what I heard was a decent tire that I could get quick. I did have more options to things that I could get, but they would not be here maybe until like 2 days before the event. And in Japan, that is not enough time. So what we are doing is we are rocking with these Kaisers, and I think they are going to be a good tire for what I need to do. They are 195/55 R15s, and we have 4 wheels, 2 sets of 2, and one of them is some type of an OEM Nissan wheel. I don't know much about this thing. Like in some ways it looks like a crappy version of like the wheel from the Chuki 240SX. All I know is that it is 4-hole by 114.3, which is what I need. I know that the offset on this wheel is garbage. I think it is somewhere like in the 30s, and it's a 15/6. Not the type of stuff that you are going to get noticed at Stance Nation or something with. But my friend Ben from Kame Trick, he kept stressing, don't try to drift on your 17s yet with your low power SR20. Just get 15s, just get 15s. And I lucked into these 15s, and I was afraid 15/6s were too narrow, so I was thinking 15/7s, and actually he said 15/6s are probably about perfect for me at my power level. Sorry, Ben, if I'm putting words into your mouth. I don't want somebody to say some crap to you over something I said. My other wheels are 15/7s, and they are a lot cooler. Cooler does not mean less beat up, though. I mean, you can look right here, and this curb rash is gnarly. In fact, in some places, it goes over the wheel a little bit, so I might have to file this down because I'm kind of worried about mounting tires. I'm afraid I'll cut my bead or something. I don't know. These are 15/7s, and they are -5 for the offset, so I think that these are going to be a lot cooler. They're going to look a lot better sitting out. The 195s, I don't know. Like, technically, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch because 195s are for 6s, but stretch is a little bit better because it's going to keep the sidewall tight, and that's not stretch that I'm going to have on those other OEMs over here where my dirty finger is pointing to. These guys. So anyways, I did get one of them mounted, and we're gonna come over here and take a look. Dude, it doesn't look bad, man. I mean, it'd be a cool tire for your mom's minivan. It's gonna work. And I did mount this by hand. So let's talk about what you're gonna need to do this. Like, obviously, you are going to need a tire. Mine's new, it can be whatever. You will need either some like bead cream or some type of grease, or what I'm using is soapy water. I put quite a bit of soap into this. I would say like I probably held the dish soap bottle up and squirted for like maybe 5 seconds or something. So it's really soapy, and you'll see that when it comes out. This is just a squirt bottle that I picked up at the garden section. This is a tire spoon. You don't necessarily need to have a tire spoon, but the cool thing about the tire spoon is the way that it's curved. This is really convenient for getting under the tire, and it will roll easily to push it over. I paid $5 for this one, and they only had one, and no other store had another one, so I picked up this little pry bar. Instead of being like oval or octagonal, is that even a word? I don't know. I picked up this one because it was flat, and this is also good for keeping the tire down. That's all you're really gonna need to get the tire on. It would be cool if you had a compressor. You can see I have a 50-liter tank. So what is that thing? That's like
1 eternity later.
12-gallon compressor. So, I mean, it's nothing crazy. It says 5 horsepower on the engine. That's probably Chinese horsepower. So I would imagine that that thing's more like a half of a horsepower or something. You are going to need some type of air source if you want to inflate the tire and you want to finish sealing the bead. However you go about that, that is your business. The sound of wheels on concrete just really bothers me because it's just the sound of somebody ruining something. And we saw the lips on those 15x7s. Those guys are done. Maybe the wheel doctor could weld some stuff in and polish some stuff out, but it's not worth that on those wheels. What I would recommend is maybe right down here. And that is some piece of plywood, or maybe some people use like a carpet or something. And maybe even like a yoga mat or something like that. Oh, and one more thing. You definitely want to have coveralls and Crocs if you're attempting to do this for extra JDM points. It's really not a style thing. When rainy season starts here, you will be so glad that you have Crocs. I never wore Crocs. I hated Crocs. I thought they were stupid until I lived here. After I lived here, Crocs became my best friend, man. Pay attention to the markings on your tires. And if you look here, this comes down, goes this way, and then makes an arrow this way. So this is the rotation to go this way. You can do what you want with these stickers. I pull mine off. Some of the guys, they leave them on and they just burn them off when they go out. But I think it's a lot cooler. Take them in and stick them all over your damn garage. And then the owner can be pissed off whenever I leave this house. We can turn it and it's not gonna scratch anything and it's not on the concrete, so that is good. Take care of your wheels as much as possible. Try not to scratch them. If they're just crappy drift wheels like this, I get that it doesn't really matter, but I mean, take pride in everything you do as much as you can. The first thing that we need to do is get the rear bead on, and that is the easy part. So grab your soap and let's soap this baby up. Sorry. You don't have to spray the whole tire, but I'm literally doing this through the viewfinder on the camera. You can see there's a lot of soap right there. And let's move this over here to the wheel. And you don't want to go straight down on it. It's easier to get it if you get it started at an angle. And you just kind of push it on. And I'm probably not going to talk while I do this too much. This is only my second one, and I'm probably going to get confused. So just watch. Maybe. Pry it out. And it'll go. And that's why I told you there's a chance you're going to scratch your rims. The first one that I did actually went on better than that, but it is what it is. And use your pry bar here to hold it. And you can just start coming through like this. Just start working around. It'll go on. And I just push a little bit around here like this. And then I'll trade off and use this one to hold everything down. And I'll just use my knees to push this guy down there as much as possible. And you just work slowly. And as you work, move your knees and your hands. that. Just bring this on around. Keep it pushed down. Actually, the first time was a lot easier. The next step is to fire up your loud compressor and let it run while you pause the video. My tires do not have a valve core in them, so while we are doing this video, we're gonna go ahead and put one of these in, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. I mean, it's nothing special. You do have to have a special tool though. I don't know if you can see, there's a line in this, and it's gonna interact with this ridge here. And when you install it, this little nipple looking thing is gonna be up, and you literally just drop it down into the valve like this, and then you put this key in until it mates, and then you just screw it in like a bolt or a screw or anything else, and you'll know when it's tight. Okay, it's in. And if you don't have one of those, it's not going to keep any air. We are going to fill this guy up, but because my air gun is a cheap unit, it never seals right, so I need to do this with 2 hands. And before I start filling this up, you're going to be looking for some pops. And probably when you first do this, it's going to make some noises while everything's leaking out, but once the pressure picks up, it should pop. And here we go. There's a small one. Oh, there's a big one. I'm worried that we're gonna have some leaks. The good thing about the soap is it lets you see where the air is coming out. If it was leaking air, we would have a lot more bubbles in there. And everything is a-okay here. One last thing that I would do is put a valve stem cap on. Maybe some people say you don't need to, but if any rocks or anything gets in there, it's gonna go ahead and push that valve down. You could lose some air. So cheap insurance, right? And these 2 guys are ready for the drift day.